Chris is so cringy.
Chris S.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queen E for those who don't know me, and we are reviewing The Bachelorette Season 18, Episode 4. I can't believe we're only 4 episodes in. I feel like this is the longest season ever, man. Before we get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and let's get into the review. So the first date this week is a one-on-one. There's actually going to be 2 one-on-ones this date and only 1 group date. The one-on-one date goes to Martin, and Olu is shook, but like I said last week, Martin is a dark horse.
Martin could be Two-Face. I hope he goes home. He doesn't deserve a woman of her caliber.
I told you to watch out for him. Something about him, he is coming in from behind. There's something about him where people aren't really checking for him, but be careful. Okay, Martin's gonna come from the back, scoop her up, and y'all gonna be confused like me, because I honestly am still confused, the connection with Martin. I'm just like, what? But okay. The date was a racetrack date, and at the end of it, they were they were sitting in this like pool, but to me they looked like tuna fish in like a tin can. But anyways, when they were sitting in that pool, they were reflecting on the Jamie situation, and I mean, Martin didn't really do a good job at being on Michelle's side.
I just, because what happens is, like, everybody's like, oh, he's a rat, he's did this and did that. And I was like, oh, well, I don't think he's a bad person. I still think he's a hell of a man.
Sir, what you're supposed to say is that you agree with her decision completely. Now, if it was a matter of, miscommunication between her and Jamie, maybe. But Jamie was obviously in the wrong. Friend or not, you gotta have your girl's side. Come on, man. Come on. Later that evening, he does express that communication is not his strong suit at all, and he attributes that to his upbringing.
Growing up, like, just seeing the dynamic between my parents, it's just like what you learn, right? It's like it's just like you see it, and it's like, oh, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he redeemed himself in her eyes. He got the rose, so he is still here for another week. Martin, take this as a learning lesson. A learning lesson, a lesson learned. Agree with your girl. She's always right. That was a joke before people start to think that I think women are completely right, because y'all love to think things that I did not say. All right, so the next date card is the group date, which consists of Will, Chris S, Casey, Chris G, Leroy, Rodney, Olu, Brandon, Clayton, Joe, Romeo, and Nate. Oh my gosh. It was a slumber party, and like the main theme of it that was going throughout the date was the fact that Michelle was not feeling seen. I'm sorry. There are so many men on this date. So many men hyped up on sugar, given stuffed animals and countless activities to do. I'm sorry, this was going to be a frat party style date. I get it. It's frustrating being the Bachelorette and feeling like you're not being seen by the people that you're dating. But girl, this was not the date to plan for a group of men.
I think it would be safe to say that the men are embracing their inner man-child a little too much.
To make matters worse, the Bella twins are the ones hosting this date. And basically, they have like a WWE situation where the guys wrestle each other with teddy bears. And she's just in the dumps. The winning team consisted of Olu, Clayton, Brandon, Nate, Leroy, and I think it was Romeo. But they still have not acknowledged at this point that Michelle is even on this date. And the guys, I don't know, I think they were torn between having fun with each other and then also not trying to step on each other's toes, which canceled each other out, and they just weren't able to connect with her. She's still not quite over it, so she shares her frustrations with Katie. At least I think her name is Katie. I don't know.
There were no relationships, romantically for so long. I felt like I was just, truly like the token black girl.
She later shares this with the guys as well, and most of them just were confused. They didn't even they didn't know she felt that way, and then they also didn't see within themselves that that's what they were doing. So it was just all kinds of confusion. Michelle ends up pulling Nate first, mainly because she felt like she had a really strong connection with him and was kind of hurt by him more so. Like she didn't think she would feel so in the shadows, especially if Nate was around. Y'all know what I mean. That's one of her favorites. So, she was hurt by one of her favorites. The guy who felt it the most, though, was Olu.
I feel you. I hear you. Everything you're doing now shows that you're a strong woman. I appreciate you.
She was assured by every guy, Nate, Clayton, all of them. We see you. We see you. We were here for you. All this stuff. But the one who was the most vulnerable was Olu, and it did pay off because he ended up getting the rose. Yeah, I share her sentiments, and it's tough being somebody who has a history of not feeling like the world acknowledges you, and then being in a situation where you're literally supposed to be the center of attention and the same theme is occurring. Yeah, well, maybe let's cut more people down so that we can have more one-on-one time, because these dates are just too big. There's too many people. Too many people. Okay, let's narrow down the pool. The last date of the week is a solo date, and it goes to Rick. They went on a gondola ride, and then it was followed by a hike. They stumbled across a secret box thing, and in reading some of those secrets that other people had left behind, he was sharing the history between him and his father.
I think the biggest challenge in my life has been when you see the people you love or the people you care about deeply, and you can't help them.
In the evening, the conversation continued about the estranged relationship he had with his dad before his father passed. And, he ended up then saying, the things that he saw his parents go through are things that he never wishes for himself. And he can't wait to be in love. And he's anticipating the day where he can say that he loves Michelle. She was caught off guard by that, but she was very flattered. At the end of the day, y'all know he's not one of my favorites, but The Bachelorette always has a history of not picking the guy that I like. So I will not be shocked if he makes it very far. It literally happens every time. Tasia didn't pick the guy that I like. Rachel didn't pick the guy that I like. Becca didn't pick the guy that I like. But, the Becca situation is a little sketchy anyways. But, yeah. He's probably going to go far. It is what it is. I just have to accept it and keep it pushing. At the cocktail party, Chris S. decides out of nowhere that he's going to address the house over a situation that he wasn't even involved with. So for context of this clip, he's about to talk about the situation that Michelle had with the guys who won the group date, about how she wasn't feeling seen by them. And all of a sudden, he's a pro on Michelle's feelings when he wasn't even there.
You should give time to other people who are here for you, who are showing you the effort that you deserve. And I feel like the guys that think that they have it in the bag, they should either speak up or they should go home.
I can't even tell you anything about this man. I do not know who Chris S. is besides the fact that his name is Chris S. That is it. Okay. But for some reason, he felt like this would make him seen. And baby, we see you. Okay. We see you. The irony of it all is he's upset that there's guys in the house who feel like they have it in the bag. Yet when he's asked by Olu if he thinks his rose is guaranteed, he basically says yes. He doesn't say that to Olu, but he says it in the confessional. He's like, oh, it's a for sure thing. I don't have any reason to think that I'm not going to get it. Oh, so are you not then the guy who thinks you has it in the bag? Interesting. The biggest reason why he brought up this whole situation is because he's personally not a fan of Nate. I mean, if I was witnessing that strong of a connection and I was Chris, I would be irritated too. But Nate was not going to do this subliminal stuff. Nate was not going to be like, oh, let me address the house now. Let me talk to you?
Why is my name even denied that you said that? Even in your mouth when you're talking denied that you said that. She probed me. She probed me and asked me, and I gave her the facts. She probed me and asked me. I told her the facts.
Like I said last week, the guys with the least potential have the loudest voice. The emptiest barrels make the loudest noise. Why Chris S decided to blow up this whole situation, who knows? I don't think he anticipated Michelle relaying his conversation that he had with Michelle back to Nate, but of course she was, because she feels Nate more than she feels you. I'm just ready for Chris to go, man. Why is he here? Why is he here? Who is he? Who is he? Who are you? The theme of feeling unseen continues throughout the evening, and I'm speaking real fast today. In an attempt to make her feel seen, heard, and valued, I think it was Joe. Joe planned a date where, her favorite snacks were included. Then you had Rodney trying to say, do you remember our handshake? Just little sentimental things here and there that she shared with the guys throughout. And listen, I feel like at this point they get it. They get the message. They're going to try their best to make her feel wanted. I think she felt wanted, but it was just, they just got carried away for a little bit, and it was a moment, but it triggered her. So it felt bigger than what it was, but I think they get it now and they're going to do better. At the rose ceremony, the guys eliminated were Chris G, which I was surprised by. I really like Chris G. Will also kind of surprised me. And I think Romeo, I didn't catch this guy's name. I don't know. But honestly, I feel like we're going to see them on Bachelor in Paradise, so it's fine. They'll be back. And Chris S got a freaking rose. He must be being kept. I think he's being kept for the dramatics, because I don't see a connect. I feel like she was closer connected with Will than she would have been with Chris S. So this could just be a production thing. Yeah, we're going to see him next week, unfortunately. But next week they are going to Minnesota, which is Michelle's hometown. And yeah, Joe should be in his element here. So we'll see how Joe rises to the occasion. Until next week, as always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sound off in the comments how you thought about this episode, who your favorites are. If you are just annoyed as Chris S as I am. And I'll see you guys in the next one.